This is Mr. Kamal at policebeast.com, and you're joining a live telephone call. I'm actually going to start with a recorded phone call a few weeks ago with a client who was actually in the police department trying to retrieve records, and it was at the time something I was recording. But what bothers me about the incident is that he was being given bad information, and I believe deliberately, by police officials. What he was told is that you're not allowed to get copies of police department policies, and it's total nonsense. They were also telling him he couldn't get copies of his own arrest, and that's also nonsense. But I know that in some states they are passing laws to prevent people from getting records, and they're also the police are actually instituting policies on their own saying you can't get copies of your own arrest report, because if you know what they're saying, what you might see that they're not telling the truth. And the earlier that you know that, the better you can protect yourself. So the police are restricting access to these kinds of records, hindering people unnecessarily, and really obstructing an important democratic safeguard. So you're going to hear initially my conversation. I apologize because the sound is not so good. The caller was on a cell phone and it was going in and out, so the sound's up and down. I don't know how much you'll be able to hear of what he says, but you'll certainly hear what I tell him, which is what I'm telling you. This is nonsense. And just for the record, anyone who wants records from the police should know this much. Their policies are not protected. They belong to the public. And you should always ask for policies if you're not sure, or if you think a police officer engaged in inappropriate conduct or in misconduct. The best way to know for sure is ask them what their policies are for a given area, such as use of force if you've been hurt, search and seizure if they searched your car or your house, subject stops if you think you've been racially profiled. And some departments have a specific racial profiling policy, so you should ask for it. In this case, my client was run over by a police car, and he is being charged with obstruction, felony obstruction, and a few other really serious charges. He has no copy of the reports. He hasn't gotten anything, and he's been trying and trying. So he goes back to the police station trying to get a copy of the report, and that's where we're going to pick a call up with him now. But then afterward, you're going to join a live call that I'm making to the police department, which is responsible for the behavior that I'm describing right now, which is obstructing and preventing him from getting records he's entitled to receive.
Department.
Uh-huh.
And I asked her about the. I had let her read the instruction that you want me to get from her.
Uh-huh.
And I think she was basically saying that that's not public or something. But she took my ID and she said she finna see what's going on with I guess the case or whatever. And she was gonna get that witness. But she was saying that it's not for the public to have the police department policy records.
Oh, she's out of her mind. She doesn't know what she's talking about. Are you still down there right now?
Yeah, I'm down here right now, but she told me to hold up and wait. She took my ID, so I'm up.
When you say she took your ID, why did she take your ID? What does she need your ID for?
I guess to find out what it's what.
Okay, is she trying to verify that you're the person who for the arrest records, that's you?
Yeah. Well, I guess so. She gonna do look up that, but I told her that that's not the problem.
Well, she doesn't know what she's talking about. So that, but this is what I kind of expected. So let me go over what's going on right now. You're at the sheriff's office or the police department, correct?
Yeah, we're here now.
Okay, and you're at the records division?
Yes, what?
Okay, well, here's the deal. You get whatever you can from her, and then I want you to just get out of there as safely as you can. And I told you that you might have to go directly to the police department, and then I'll get them on the phone and ask them what the deal is with their policies. That's not something that's private and confidential. Any member of the public can ask for police policies. Most people just don't know you can do that. So, but I don't really know why she needs your driver's license. Does she still have it in her possession?
Yeah.
That's really strange. That's really strange. Okay, well, do me a favor. I'm going to be by the phone, and if you have any problems, I want you to call me. But basically, you're entitled to get any records with your name on it involving the incident that you had. And the police policies, I just don't think she knows what she's talking about, so no need to take that up with her. I'll call the police department and find out where I can get those policies.
Okay. Okay.
All right? So I'll be by the phone. You don't need to stay on the phone with me. You just go ahead and stand there until she comes back, and then let me know what goes on after that.
All right.
Okay?
All right.
All right, Roger. I'll be waiting by the line if you need me.
Sheriff's Office.
Yes, I'm trying to reach Lieutenant Chu in records.
Hold on a minute.
Thank you.
Captain Chu can help you.
Is this Captain Chu?
Yes, it is.
Hi, Captain Chu. My name is Mr. Kamau. We spoke a few weeks ago, and I sent a FOIA request in. I just got the return back from your office. This has nothing to do with what I asked for. There are no policies in this return, and it's not even about the person who I requested the records on. I requested records on Roderick Hayes, and I got some long police report about some person who has nothing to do with what I requested. I have a simple battery arrest. My client was not arrested for that. This is not even an arrest report about the person we talked about. I need to know what happened.
I'm not. You spoke with me about what was your client's name?
His name is Roderick Haynes. Let me just pull up.
Haynes?
Yeah, just a moment. I'm pulling up his complaint form. Haynes. It's Haynes. And he was there in person. And I have to tell you, he was a bit upset because he felt he was getting the runaround. He was told that he needed some special permission to get police policies. That's not true. He was told he couldn't get a copy of his own arrest report. And I don't know of any statute or policy that provides that you can't get a copy of your report. But I requested the records for him, and I wrote a letter. In fact, I wrote 2 letters, and I followed your instructions, and this is what I requested. All reports with my client's name, all use of force reports, all policies regarding the use of force, policies regarding traffic stops and subject stops. My client was hit by a police car, and I believe for bad intentions, and I'm trying to help him. He has an upcoming criminal case in about 2 weeks, and this delay is serious.
Whoa. Wait just a minute. Okay?
I'm waiting. Go right ahead.
Where did you get the response from?
It's from you. It was sent in the mail.
No. Was it sent from our attorneys?
I'm gonna go get. Let me get the letter. Just hold on a moment. I'll get the letter. The letter is addressed to me. It states it's from the Richmond County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Richard Roundtree, with your address. And it has a copy of a fax cover sheet, which is the fax that I sent in. It has a copy of what I sent. It's addressed. I thought you were a lieutenant. Now it's Captain Chu, obviously. I was mistaken. But I have the cover message, Lieutenant Chu. I wrote what I was asking for, which is what I just read to you. It has Roderick Haynes spelled in bold letters, so you can't miss it. And then I have a response, which is there's no letter, there's no explanation. There is simply a copy of an irrelevant, worthless police report that has nothing to do with what I asked for.
Mm-hmm. For some reason, I don't know whether or not in translation or what, or in response to you, the paperwork was not sent to you. Now let me explain something to you. You argue with me and telling me that I ain't giving you what you want. It's not going to help the situation. Okay? If there was a mistake, then we will correct the mistake. Okay? And that's not a big issue. But that's not for me, you know, I don't know what runaround your gentleman got and by whom or what have you.
It was tape recorded. It was tape recorded. Would you like to hear it?
Okay. I do not care. What you need to do,
You brought it up.
forward me that information, and I will be glad to address it.
Forward you which information? The request, the request that I sent before. You want the request that I sent before sent again?
You can do it. You can, if you want to email it to me, I'd be glad to look at it.
Okay, I'll take an email address. Go right ahead.
It's Chew, and that's CHEW at AugustaGA.gov.
Okay. And if I send you, what do you want me to ask for the records again, or you want the copy of what I received?
The documentation that you're saying that we sent you back, along with the request that you gave us.
You'll have it by 5 p.m. today.
Okay.
Thank you.